Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. I am Jennifer Schultz, your host of Elevate Your Style, and I'm so excited to be here this morning with this amazing, incredible man that I met a few years ago, and he has truly changed my life. So I'm going to be reading his bio. But this show is all about elevating your style, showing up powerfully, and inspiring change, and that is exactly what this incredible influencer is doing. So I'm going to put on my new glasses that I think are kind of cute. And I'm going to read.
They are.
So I am very thrilled to be talking to this incredible man, Ash. Okay, Ash, I don't want to say your last name wrong. Can you say it?
Sobey.
It is Sobey. Okay, I just didn't want to pronounce it wrong. So Ash Sobey,
Easy.
today, he's fantastic. So, okay, Ash Sobey is a pioneer in the tech industry who is known for his success in developing technology, robust marketing strategies that has achieved unpredictable results globally. And this is all very true. He has a deep passion for inspiring humanity, technology, and developing marketing growth through artificial intelligence, which we're going to hear more about. A sought after speaker, he also conducts coaching sessions with business owners and startup entrepreneurs who are motivated to explore the limitless potential within all of us. Ash also served as the chairman of the IT departments for many nonprofit organizations. Ash is a graduate of California State University, Northridge, which is known as CSUN, where he studied business marketing with a focus in information systems and information technology. CSUN, I don't know for all of you that don't know this, is ranked in the top 5% of business schools in the world. He is actively involved with the university to this day and set up an annual entrepreneurial scholarship under the Sobey family name, which I think is so powerful. Ash grew up in the middle of one of the most devastating conflicts in recent history and became a famed entrepreneur and self-made millionaire in his mid-20s. So I think that is incredible. Instilled in Ash is to drive to chase dreams and to create one's own brand of happiness. Like a phoenix, he rose from the ashes of a war-ravaged landscape to achieve the American dream. And he wants to unleash your potential to achieve your personal success too. And I will say that Ash is truly a gift from God and has become, in my opinion, my guardian angel. So welcome, welcome, Ash. I'm so excited and honored to have you on our show. So tell us more about you.
Thank you, Jennifer. You're very, very kind. I appreciate the intro. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you have the show. And thank you very much for giving me the honor to be your guest today.
Yeah, you're amazing. You know, I cry like when I talk about you. Like, my eyes
are watering. Stop it. I appreciate you.
You've changed my life. So I want to know, just tell the viewers more about you and how awesome you are.
So I think you're far kinder to me than I'm anything even remotely close to amazing. So let me start there. Here's what I believe. I at some point it occurred to me that love is what we are all needing. You know, love is something that really truly drives everything forward. I study a lot of science. I study a lot of astronomy. We study a lot of artificial intelligence. We study a lot of people. Now, as I expanded my knowledge in basically business and also in real world scenarios, I realized love is the actual true driver of most things. So in marketing, I wanted to see if I can use that for our people to create something a little bit greater, and it worked really well. So what I ended up doing is basically using technology through my team, and my team and I got to give a lot of credit to my team because this is not all just me. There are literally hundreds of people that have worked on this piece of technology to this date. And what this piece of technology basically believes in, that is driven from us, is that if we give people what they ask for and something a little bit more, then we're always going to guarantee ourselves their business, right? So for example, let's say there's a single mom looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. And let's say, just for the sake of the argument, her budget is $100. If we find her based on artificial intelligence, if they find her online and we realize this is what she's searching for, because that's what we see on, let's say, Zillow or Trillia and so on and so forth. If we can find her the perfect house for $20,000 under her budget, do you think she's going to like that or not?
Yeah, she's going to love it.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're virtually guaranteeing ourselves her business for the rest of her life, and also her referral network too. So that's basically where the whole social media thing came about. That's what we kind of started as R6S, the name of our company. R as in Robert, the number 6, S as in Sam. And it's just, it stands for our success, like a collective success of all of us together. So that's the scenario.
Speaking of the word love, I love the name of your company. I love the philosophy.
Thank you.
When you and I first met, you were honest, you were loving, you were kind, but you saw something in me that I felt no one else had seen, that I had been trying to get my message out there. And I finally felt like, okay, this guy gets me. He truly gets me what I want to achieve in my business. And so I'm so grateful for that.
I appreciate that. You know, Jennifer, I'm a gardener. I see a beautiful flower. And if I feel like, oh my God, this flower could flourish so much more. This flower could be fruitful for the whole community. All she's missing is a little bit of water, a little bit of good soil, right? I'm that gardener that can provide that. And this is what I've gathered over the years. So it's a privilege for me to be at your service. And honestly, I swear, you're one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole life. And I'm not saying that lightly. As you know, I coached 4,000 people last year alone, right? And I work with a lot of amazing people, but I say this sincerely, you're genuinely one of the kindest souls I've ever met. So for me to enable you, I feel like it just helps our ecosystem. It's not just about you and I, you know?
Thank you. Oh my God, crying. Thank you. I really appreciate, that means a lot from you, because you do work with so many amazing, incredible people. And like I said, you are my guardian angel, because you inspire so many other people. So can you share with us how this has evolved? Like I know your story. Share with us how you feel this has evolved from your inspiration to lift others up, to inspire others. I want to hear your story.
So it was a small little community when the tech world kind of started in early 2000s, let's call it late 1990s and early 2000s, right? So it was a closed group of people like me that considered ourselves nerds, and we're always on the computer, programming, messing around with Microsoft, messing around with whatever we had at the time, right? Now, as time went by, I realized my own financial need. You know, my father, unfortunately, at some point went completely broke. So I had a big desire for me to have to help my mom, for example, because my mom is one of those people just like yourself. Like, she would sacrifice anything that she has for her kids, right? So watching her struggle through those years, it was very touching for me. I volunteered at a church, and as you know, there are a lot of amazing people in this world. So as I would go around, I would try to offer my services to be useful to them, and they would offer me opportunities. For example, I would see somebody, let's say, dialing a phone number for their son or daughter on their phone. And I would say, hey, did you know your phone actually has a contact section? May I show you how to use it? Because I think, you know, you don't have to use your memory all the time. I see you struggle with phone numbers. Can I show you a few things? And they would ask me if I'm going to charge or anything. I would say, no. I just want to be useful to you. As I would do that, people would realize how much I'm struggling, so they would buy me a meal. They would give me $20. They would give me $30. So literally, I kid you not, that's how I started my business. Mm-hmm. And when I made $30,000, $40,000 a year, I wanted to see if I can make 6 figures. When I made 6 figures, I wanted to see if I can make $500,000. And then after $500,000, I wanted to see if I can make $1 million, then 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. On my verge of building $100 million a year company. I already had the Lamborghini as a client. I was working with Ferrari, Maserati, State Farm, UCL, a lot of big brands that were being attracted to the technology at the time. I wanted to work with them. And I realized if I start from the top, if I align myself with Lamborghini, then the rest will become easier, right? So Lamborghini actually did our grand opening here in Calabasas for our new office, which was perfect. As I did that, one thing I was missing, Jennifer, is to be very honest and frank with you, I felt like I lost a little bit of my path. I kind of got a little bit caught in the drama of building a business and building this entrepreneurship game that I think I forgot my purpose. It wasn't until a couple years ago where my massive amounts of headaches and my loss of vision started really kind of making me to a point that I started taking it seriously. Because as crazy as it sounds, when you're so caught in the game of this entrepreneurship game and all you want to do is take your company public and so on and so forth, there are a lot of things that you forget about, including your own mom's birthday, including your faith sometimes, including your own family. So that's the unfortunate circumstances I was in. But financially, in the outside world, I was doing fantastic. I had all these fast cars. I am living on this high rise. There's just like, it's just an incredible life. But internally, I felt so empty. So long story short, they found 3 tumors, or what they thought there were tumors at the time, on my brain. And that's what they attributed the loss of vision and the massive headaches to. I won't bore you with all the details, but that entire year I saw 23 different doctors, and all the 23 different surgeons that I saw, both at Cedars-Sinai or UCLA or other places, they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And at some point, somebody said, "Kiddo, I don't know how much time you have. Worst case scenario, you might only have 6 months. And best case scenario, you might be like Stephen Hawking's. And who knows, you might be able to live with this for a while."
Right.
It just completely changed my life.
Yeah.
At the moment I heard that, I pretty much packed up all my bags, got all my paperwork and everything else, and I started a scholarship at CSUN. I studied technology at CSUN. I studied psychology at Yale. I studied mathematics at UCLA. And these were all weird coincidences at the time that I was trying to figure out what I wanted and what I needed. So I was using different institutions of education for me to learn specific things about human beings and how the whole world works.
Yeah.
So long story short, after I realized my demise, I realized that I'm a natural human being. I'm a product of this earth. Why can't I just be like the sun? Why can't I just shine on people whether they pay me or not? Why can't I be just like the trees outside, produce oxygen for everybody from my own ecosystem, whether they're the ones that have gratitude for me or not? That's mainly my own ego. So I started our success out of that, and more of a communal thing. So I'm not about my personal gain. And I kid you not, Jennifer, I am wealthier today than I've ever been before, both financially and also spiritually as well. And I'm very much at peace. So it's worked out so much better for me to get rid of my greed and my ego and focus every single thing that I do on a sustainable cycle, basically. So I can feel like I'm a part of this ecosystem and the community. Make sense?
Yes, that is so powerful. And you know that I've been dealing with these health issues for the past year, and it does truly change the way we think about things. And I
100%.
find it fascinating that you said, we forget about, my mother's birthday or this event or that event, but we also see when we're on that mission of entrepreneurial drive, we forget about our health. And
100%.
you know that 4 years ago I had a heart attack, and that still didn't quite get me enough. But this past a heart attack. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, right. It has actually allowed me to see that I can use what happened to me to help others. And I finally started speaking about it publicly, because I was embarrassed and ashamed by it. But I realized God is saying, no, I want to use you. And that's what you're saying, is use what's going on in your life to help others. And now for me, this past year about my health issues, I'm seeing things differently. I'm working differently. As you know, I'm working differently. And it's all about what you're talking about. And that is giving back.
100%. Consider something for a moment. Let's say there was a seed here that was about to be pollinated, right? Yeah. Let's say the wind took it and actually transferred it somewhere else and then dropped it, let's say, somewhere else. The natural state of being for that seed is that I'm going to grow, and I'm going to grow as tall as I can, and I'm going to produce as much oxygen as I can, regardless of the drama.
Yes.
You and I are the seed that sit around and say, you know what? I don't know why I was taken from my family. I don't deserve this. Why am I over here? Why did the wind did that to me? And so on and so forth. Not realizing, hey, there is an ecosystem. Maybe I don't understand how small I am. Maybe the wind and the whole natural system understands that, hey, trees can't just grow in one pocket. They need to grow everywhere. Because here's the thing, Jennifer, we live in a galaxy, right? As far as our planet goes.
Yeah.
From one side of our galaxy to the other side, at some point, when I realized my demise, when I was doing my research, I realized from one side of our galaxy to the other side, even if we traveled as fast as light, which means that we would evaporate to nothing, it would still take us 100,000 years to go from one side of it to the other side. That's how big our galaxy is. Now, you know what's crazy? Through the Hubble telescope, what we've figured out is that we're actually one out of the 2 trillion galaxies in the world. So we're so small, we're a speck on the dust, and there's such a bigger ecosystem that's going on that I shouldn't feel like I'm a drop in the ocean, because you and I, and you and your audience, we as people, we as the entire ecosystem together, we create the ocean, you know?
Exactly. And that's about what we're talking about. And that is so powerful. And it's funny, I'm sitting here, I could like so get into our conversation. I'm like, I got to ask him questions. I'm so I'm so in tune to what you're saying, and it is about everyone that's watching making a difference. And I know you are making a difference. For example, with CSUN, you have started something extremely incredible there. So tell us more about what you started and what you're doing for CSUN as a part of your give back.
So here's what I believe. I believe in true freedom for all of us. I think it's unnatural for anybody to be stuck in a situation that they don't want to. I think we live in the greatest country in the world. If we lived in, for example, Congo, if we lived somewhere in Middle East, if we lived in, let's say, Libya or Syria or somewhere else that we had limitations, I would believe that there are certain things that we can't do. I grew up experiencing life in 7 different countries, so I know firsthand.
Right.
However, we're here in America. Jennifer, on our worst day, on the day that you get the worst news, on the day that everything collapses, on the day that you're very depressed because you have financial needs and anything else that could possibly go wrong in this country, we're still in the top 14% of the entire world.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you and I, and the audience that's already hearing this, we've already won the lottery of the life, right?
Yes.
How do we use this to create something that's bigger than us? So here's what I do. I go around teaching people how to be financially independent using technology. We have better ways to make money today. So if you see me worthy, allow me an opportunity so I can teach you how to make more of a sustainable recurring revenue, right, online. So that way you're not trapped to a desk.
Right.
I don't believe in a 9 to 5. I don't believe in giving up the best years of our lives in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s to a big corporation. And I don't believe in giving the best hours of our day, 9 to 5, to just one single cause unless we truly seriously believe in it. Now, if you're part of a nonprofit, if you're part of a B Corp, if you're part of a technology or a corporation or medical care or something that you really believe in, by all means, work 24/7. However, 99% of us, that's not the case. So here's what I believe in. I believe in going around showing these kids at CSUN, for example. They gave me an opportunity to teach a class there. And I wanted to teach these people how to actually physically make money. Not virtual money, physically make money. Give me a class, let us go out there and actually bring in money, real money, and see how we do. Exactly. The challenge was that we weren't gonna make even $1,000 in that class of 22 people in one semester. I kid you not, Jennifer, in that one semester, in 16 weeks, those 22 kids actually made $25,000 just using their phones.
Yeah.
Here's what's amazing about it more than anything else. At the end of it, you know what we all did with the money? You know what they decided to do? They decided to donate every single penny to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So I got to feel good. As far as me being useful for my ecosystem. These kids learn how to make money on their own and how to be entrepreneurs and believe in themselves that, hey, I can go out there and negotiate my own salary. I don't have to be destitute anymore. I don't have to be desperate. At the same time, our community and all these parents that unfortunately have sick kids, they got a little something out of it too, just a little bit of relief.
That's awesome. That's such a gift.
That's what I do.
You're passing on your give back, and now these kids are learning that and learning how to give back and seeing the powerful, impact that it has. And I know that you continue making that difference in so many different other areas. You helped me, your team, our success, your company, rebranded and redesigned my website. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I want to know from you, for the people that are watching, we have viewers out there who are, looking at thinking, or, thinking I need to possibly rebrand my website. I need a new facelift. What advice would you give them? And how would you encourage them to get started on that? Because it can be a little scary.
Intimidating. Right.
Right. Because I worked with two other people and they never asked me, what are your goals for your business and your dreams? I mean, they didn't ask me anything. You were the first and only person that asked me these important, powerful questions. And that's why you were able to come up with this great website for me. So what advice would you give them?
Very good question. Here's what you do. Grab a sheet of paper, draw a line right in the middle. On the left side, write the things that you are. On the right side, write the things that you're not, right? For example, on the left side, if I'm Jennifer, I write that I'm a powerful person. I'm a kind heart. I'm a mother, right? And I start listing the things that I am versus the things that I'm not. I'm not shady. I'm not going to be late all the time. I won't lie to people's face. I won't steal, and so on and so forth, right? This is the foundation of your brand. Once you have it on a piece of paper, then you know who you are, you know who you're not. And here's what I suggest for your specific audience. Before you get into the rest of it, start building your own brand within your own community. Because sometimes when we talk about social media, people focus too much on this device right here.
Right.
What I want people to do is realize their own brand, forget about this device, bring it down and focus on the people that are sitting behind the screen, right? Realize that if you're an athlete, chances are you're going to resonate with other athletes. So if you're on Instagram, click on the magnifying button at the bottom left corner, click on the search at the top, click on the tags tab, and start looking for athletes and start connecting with them, right? If you're an athlete, if you're a mom, for example, right? If you're an athletic mom, you find other athletic moms that you're connecting with, guess what? That grows your business.
Yes.
Let's say you and I sit across each other in train, and I say, beautiful weather, right? And you say, I hate this weather. That conversation gets killed really quickly, right? But if I say beautiful weather, you're like, oh my God, I love it. I'm from New York. I never get this weather. I'm like, me too. I'm from New York. Where are you from? Right? All of a sudden we have a connection, right? So if I'm an athletic mom and I find other athletic moms, then all of a sudden I have something that I can connect with.
Yeah.
If I'm a churchgoer and I find other churchgoers, if I'm a golfer and I find other golfers, if I like cars and I find other people that like cars, then I can connect with it, right? Then your branding becomes about, what do I do to serve other people? If I'm in fashion, I got to look good because I need to be pleasing to my other people that are watching me.
Right.
And here's the biggest thing when it comes to brand, Jennifer, that I want you and everybody else to remember. People's brain works based on two chemicals. It's either anxiety, oh my God, get out of there, that's a bad situation, or hey, you're being attacked by a lion, and so on and so forth. That's just our biology, right? Or serotonin. Oh my God, that was the greatest ice cream ever. Let's do that again, right? That's serotonin.
Yes.
If I'm in charge of my brand, then I can control my audience's serotonin levels versus anxiety. Let's say you're in a fashion. If I show up wearing something very, very dirty and sloppy, guess what? Your anxiety level goes up because that's not who you are, right? If you walk into my room and you're an organized person and you see a chaos, your anxiety level goes up. However, if I understand how to serve my people, if I understand what my people want, and I can give them things that releases more and more serotonin, then I build loyalty.
Yeah.
Like that example that we're given before. Remember that mom that was looking for a house. If I find her the perfect house in a safe neighborhood for under her price, then her levels of serotonin are going to be so high that it almost creates an addiction.
Yes.
You made me addicted to you. You had such a kind soul that every time we spoke, you were like, oh my God, absolutely, I'm going to do that. And here's the deal. I would say almost 90% of the people I coach don't end up doing the things they're supposed to be doing, right? Which is natural, which is okay, right? A lot of us know what the right thing is, but we don't sometimes do it, right? You're one of those people that actually did. And the more you did, the more serotonin I got. It's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm useful to her. I feel like I'm contributing something that's greater than me. And all of a sudden, it made me want to be attracted to you that much more, you know? So that's how it works.
I think that's powerful. What came to my mind is, I mean, you have helped me so much. And if you said your business is going to grow, if you go outside and dance around, in circles and body color, my only question would be literally, what color do I paint it? Because you're right, it does not. You're saying I send serotonin to you, but you do the same for me, and
Right.
it's a connection is currency. It just is.
Absolutely.
And so
100%.
I totally get what you're saying, and I love the fact that I know all this stuff because Ash actually, I want to make sure I say this right. He independently studied psychology online at Yale University. So you are one smart dude. So
Thank you.
I want to know what made you decide to do that. What was your drive?
You want to hear something crazy?
Hmm.
It's because it's free.
Okay.
Go online. I kid you not. Go online. At some point, I was so broke that I needed education. I was reading book after book after book, and I wanted to see if Ivy League schools had something I didn't. So
Oh,
if you go online today, Jennifer, and I want you to do this, and I want all your audience to do, right? So this is the part where I'm talking about. 90% of people don't do it. If you literally go online, type in Yale online courses free,
okay.
you'll be surprised how much you find. Look up MIT free courses. Look at Harvard free courses. The
Okay.
thing is, like, not only we're in the greatest country in the world, we're in the best time to ever live as a human being, right? I don't know what's going to happen 100 years from now. It might be just a lot worse.
Right.
But this is literally the best we've ever had in the past 200,000 years. Like, we can literally even control the climate in our cars, in a cube. Like, if even 50 years ago, you told somebody that, hey, there's going to be a black box that is going to help me connect with somebody else, like you and I are doing right now, virtually, and see each other. 50 years ago, people would look at you and I thinking like we're crazy out of our minds, right? So this is what we have. So this is what I did with Yale. I wanted to understand human psychology. I needed to know that. And if I realized that if I just take half an inch of a step, this country and these people are so nice to me that they will go an extra mile for me.
Mhm.
So if I can realize that and I can study psychology for free at Yale, it costs me nothing. And other people's psychology dictates that the moment they hear Ash went to Yale,
Yeah.
serotonin levels go up because they associate me with Yale, or they associate our success with Lamborghini. And this is what I figured out. That's what my people like. So I'm going to go to Yale so you can get serotonin, not at the expense of my going into student debt, because I got to be smarter and beat the game in its own game. So I found a free course at Yale.
Okay, so just so you know, right now, like I am like fired up. I'm like, oh my God, I want to go do this right now. Please hold, I'll be back. Because I will do this today. You know I will. And then I'm going to text you and tell you what I found. And
Love
what
it.
course I'm going to take.
Love it.
I'm excited.
Good.
That's great news. I mean, all of our viewers, I think we should challenge all of our viewers right now to do that
100%.
today after this interview, to do that and let us know what fired you up and what did you find that you would want to learn about. I'm excited.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm also excited for you to tell us about your TEDx talk, because that's one of my bucket list goals, is to do a TEDx talk, even though it scares me half to death, but I know you talk. So tell us, how was that for you? Tell us kind of, because you had a goal and then it happened, and tell us how that all came, how the goal happened and all that good stuff.
So I'm going to share the whole story, and I hope you don't mind.
It's okay. I was like, leave me out of it.
Perfect. No, I need to. Here's the thing. Remember that ecosystem I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's such a yin yang kind of play because, for example, if there are just perfect enough mosquitoes in the world to help plants pollinate, but if there were just a little bit more mosquitoes in the world, we'll be overtaken by mosquitoes. So the way nature works, it balances out by producing, let's say, enough lizards so it can control the mosquito population, right? It's such an ecosystem. I helped you for just a moment, right? And in December of 2016, I attended a TEDx talk, and it was called TEDx Los Angeles. I was so inspired, and this is still actually sitting. I was one of my first couple of photos on Instagram. If you look it up, Ash Sobhy, ASHSOBHE is my name. Go look it up. One of the first photos I ever put up was from me in TEDx LA, and I said, I love this place, and I'm so inspired. If history holds true, I'm going to speak on a stage like this too. Because at that point, I knew that anything I put my mind into had gotten accomplished by serving other people. So
Yeah.
a kind angel saw that, her name is Jennifer Schultz, and connected me with other people that said, hey, at some point you reached out to me, you said, hey, Ash, I saw your post. I have an opportunity for you to speak at a TEDx stage. Would you like to?
Yeah, I
And
know.
it just, my mind blew up. It was just the greatest feeling I've ever had. So forever, Jennifer, I'm thankful to you because I wasn't born here. Public speaking is a great fear of mine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had some issues growing up with some. We don't need to get into it. I developed a lot of insecurities myself, and I had a very hard time trusting other people, unfortunately. The opportunity that you gave me really literally changed my life, because preparing for that TEDx talk, I learned so much about myself and people. I got so gung-ho in doing all kinds of research, figuring out how do I make that 18 minutes or 9 minutes or 10 minutes useful for our audience, because the greatest asset you will ever have is your time. And if you've decided, hundreds of you, possibly thousands, to spend that time with me, I feel a big obligation to be able to make that time useful for you. That TED Talk on YouTube right now has had over 100,000 views.
Wow.
So that's an obligation for me to make sure I make that 9 minutes for these people useful enough so they walk out there and get something from it. And my career from public speaking literally started from that point. And you, my sister, are the one who made it happen. That's our ecosystem.
I don't take the credit. I give it all to God. But I'll tell you what, when I texted you and asked you, it was kind of like, I wonder if he'd be interested. I had no clue that it would not only blow your mind, but impact your future and your speaking and everything. So incredible. I literally I had no idea. Zero. So I'm so grateful that, that I listened, and I didn't just say, oh, I don't know if he'd be interested. That's not what he does. Or, you know what I mean? I could have went any way on it. Or I could have even been like, I want to speak on TEDx. I mean, I could have gone that way, but I didn't. It is all about just being grateful for what we have and giving back. Yeah. Having the heart. And I love you.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm excited that you had that opportunity. And I know there's going to be many more because of the impact that you're making on so many people's lives.
You are too. Over 100,000 views. Those could have not happened if it wasn't because of you. Right? And those things that you did couldn't have happened if we wasn't because of some of your ancestors either. The whole ecosystem, we're so intertwined and so connected. Literally, they've been 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 45-year-olds calling me on the phone, crying, saying, hey, your talk really changed my life. Wow. I kid you not, I've had somebody call me say that I was on the verge of committing suicide today, and you stopped me. I get goosebumps all over my body every time I remember that.
Down on my toes. Yeah,
and that all comes back to you, Jennifer.
Well, I thank you, but it's your message, and you literally just have a gift. God has given you a gift to change.
It's all of us, though, right? And Nick over there, right? Nick did so much on that event to put that event together that was just like out of this world. I was like, kiddo, you're not getting paid for this. You know that, right? Like you're killing yourself to make these people have a great time. And that was so inspiring for the rest of us, right? So it's not just you. It's not just me. It's such a bigger thing.
Yes.
And I'm just so happy to, be able to have an opportunity to play with these amazing players, at least while I'm alive.
Yeah, it's so great. And I mean, I could sit here and talk to you all day. I have so many questions for you, but I know we're running out of time. But tell everyone how they can follow you on social media, because on social media, you have some amazing, thought-provoking videos that I love to watch. And when I watch them, I'm like, okay, like like shut everything down for a few minutes and watch Ash, because it really does make me think. Um,
I appreciate it.
Tell us how they can get a hold of you, your website, social media, everything.
So our website is super simple. Is R as in Robert, the number 6, S as in Sam.com. So 3 letters only, R6S.com. And my personal Instagram is my first and last name. So ASHSOBHE. SOBHE is my last name. ASH is my first name. If you look up Ash Sobey, I'm sure you will find it.
You will find it,
And
definitely.
thank you so much for having me, Jennifer.
Oh,
this has been an incredible conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ash. I am so excited and fired up. A couple things. Number one, I'm going to definitely go be looking up the free online courses to Yale, Harvard. I'm all over that. That's exciting because
Perfect.
I want information in my brain. I'm also going to take you up on your advice for Instagram, and it gave me an idea, because for me, I want to reach out more to entrepreneurs like you who would want to work with me for producing fashion shows for philanthropy. So that gave me kind of an idea of where I need to search for. So thank you for that idea. And you have
Of
really
course.
helped me with my Instagram, so I appreciate that. So I want to challenge every one of you out there to take this challenge of looking up some free online courses and let us know what you found and what you're interested in. And I know Ash would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much, Ash. Really, thank you. This has been great.
My pleasure.
And thank you to all of our amazing, incredible viewers listening. Go out today and elevate your style, show it powerfully, and remember, connection is currency. And we'll see you. We'll see you soon. Have $1 million day. Bye.